at any moment. Don't wait for Aaron, though. Just go ahead and start.
Invading the internet, covering
the
Web
internet.
2.0, coast to coast, worldwide, and everywhere in between. This is where you put the social in social media. We are Social Blade.
Well, Aaron, what do you think about that, us being Social Blade? Nothing? Why? Because Aaron is running late, and this is a Social
Invading the
Blade show.
internet.
There she is. She has something to say even when she's not here. Why is she running late? Because today, July 1st, 2010, is not Blame Canada Day. Sorry, that was Ergo's idea. Canada Day. Today is like the Canadian Revolution, where they finally broke away from the evil plunderers of Norwegian Italy, and they announced their independence in 1997 as an actual independent 51st state of the United States. So congratulations to all of you Canadians out there. We love you. Keep bringing us hockey and all that good stuff. Hey, how are you guys doing?
Well, now at least I'm doing all right. I wasn't feeling well for most of the week. I was sick in bed with a fever, but I'm good now.
Well, that's excellent. And how are you doing, Jeff?
I'm pretty good. I'm good
All
now
right.
that we started.
Yeah. Well, that's our obligatory being polite and asking what you guys are doing. You have joined the Social Blade Show, and I am one of the hosts. I am J.D. Rucker. I am Aaron Ryan.
I'm Jason Ergo.
And I'm Jeff Kreider.
And I am Aaron Ryan.
Yes. And before we actually get in fully to the show part, I just want to give a quick update on our last week's show. We had
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we had
Tell us about
we had the Mario Marathon crew on last week, and they had an amazing weekend. When I wasn't sick, I was actually watching that, and I'm just looking at their site right now just to see what the final total is. They raised $82,000, $82,011 actually. Just an incredible amount of money. They were live from Friday at 11 in the morning all the way to I think it was Tuesday night at midnight, so like Wednesday morning. It was just it was an amazing event.
It was, and they were very cordial. They were just the sheer idea, and I love this stuff because it really. Thank you very much. It really is. It's neat to see quality usage of both social media and gaming simultaneously in a way that is, that's productive. They're doing it for a great cause. They're donating their time. It started off with pizza and it's turned into something huge. So mega kudos to them. Did they have all of the numbers in? Everything is already tallied, totaled, all that good stuff?
Well, they were taking donations via PayPal, so I think people that paid with e-checks, they take like up to 5 days to clear, so there still might be a few more coming in. So they're at least $82,000. We'll put it that way. At
least $82,000. Think about that. All right. Thoughts good enough. This week was it was chemically imbalanced. That's how tremendous this week was in social media. I mean, there were people flipping out. There were death threats. There were love threats. There were threats of every kind, and that's just looking at Digg. I mean, that's not even touching on Facebook and everything else. Just Digg alone was loaded with emotions. I've talked to so many people about it, and the threat of the new Digg, or threat to some, the envy of others, is so amazing that we thought we would debate it, but we're going to save that for the end as Jason Ergo, who is the most prolific, next to Kevin Rose, the most prolific percentage-wise submitter in Digg.com history, and I will debate him. I have no accolades, but I do drink broccoli juice. So that's my accolade, is to drink broccoli juice. Yeah, Aaron will be joining us shortly, so guys, don't fret. If you came here and you're like, what's the deal with seeing three dudes talking about social media? Well, that'll change very shortly, as Aaron, I'm sure, is cleaning off for Canada and moving and getting ready for the show.
That's awesome.
It's a big state. Have you guys seen Canada? I mean, it's like almost bigger than Texas.
Stop.
It's got to be one of the biggest states. Okay, so yeah, okay. Well, I'm just trying to get it out of the way before she gets on the show, because she won't actually let me have.
You gotta get it out of your system.
Here. Yeah, I mean, once she gets here, it's like over. I can't discuss it anymore, unfortunately. Um, no, so let's get started with some of this good stuff. Right off the bat, we're talking about some bad news. Those of you who are in a bad relationship and you're in the process of getting a divorce or anything like that. Mel Gibson, if you're out there, listen up. Um, don't don't tweet it, don't Facebook it, don't do anything. If you're getting divorced, chances are your soon to be ex spouse's lawyer is watching exactly what you're doing on Facebook. Why? Because it's evidence now. I mean, this stuff they're actually using this in the court of law to determine just how bad you are and how much or little money you deserve. Which is good. I mean, I'm don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm just telling you, hey, be careful. Make sure that you keep it either private, unpublic, whatever. Unfriend your ex. Do something, whatever it takes to make sure that they don't get to see that while you're in the middle of the divorce, that you're out having beers with a couple of co-eds, or anything like that. You're posting pictures of you and the gardener. Nothing. Save it because it's all legal. And it's funny because this is a story that I wanted to do quite a while back. I wanted to do a story about the emerging uses of social media in law. Did you know that in Australia, you can get served a summons via Facebook?
Wait, what?
Somebody say, I did not know that.
What?
You can be served a summons via Facebook, and it is binding. Look it up.
So what if you have a Facebook account and you don't actually use it?
Well, then first of all, they can tell if you've logged on. You know what I mean? They can tell if you've logged on. They can see the last time. Blah 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 blah. But yeah,
Wow.
no, it's absolutely totally 100% binding and all that good stuff. And
Just because I log into my email doesn't mean I read every message in there.
hmm exactly. I think I've hit a point. Tell us how you feel about that, Jason.
Well, I
Tell us
think
how you really feel.
I think it's fine for the divorce thing. I mean, it makes sense, but for for the case you brought up to support that doesn't make any sense.
I know.
Uh,
See, I threw Jason a curveball. He didn't realize I was going to bring up Australia and Canada in the same show. We're having make fun of other country overload. Even though I love Aussies and I love Canadians, I don't want there to be any like thoughts that we don't like people in other countries. It's just when they're not here to defend themselves, we have to pick on them. So that's Aaron's fault. Blame Aaron. Blame Canada. But yeah, that's the case right now. You can do so many things with Facebook and social media because people spend so much time there that it's really becoming something that a court of law can, and in my opinion, should use. People say, "Oh, but that's privacy." Oh, in a court of law, if you're going to be putting it online, there's no such thing as privacy. That's first off. Second off, look at it like this: if they'll be able to use these social profiles or other internet activities to be able to collect evidence against people, whether it's in civil court, criminal court, whatever, I'm all for it. Catch people doing bad things there. I will look up anybody that we consider hiring. I will look them up, and it's funny because one of those people is probably in the room right now. I told them to watch the show. Yes, yes, I am. I'm not going to say your name live, but I'm checking your Facebook, your LinkedIn, everything. I'm going to see what kind of person you are, where you like to party, and all that good stuff, and then I'll decide whether or not to hire you. Sorry, it's a sad fact, but it's the truth. Because Facebook is that big, it's that important that we're going to use it in a court of law. The only thing that will ever change this is if Facebook is killed. And right now, there's only two things that can kill Facebook. One of those things that can kill Facebook is Mark Zuckerberg, funny enough. He could definitely kill Facebook. But there's something else that may kill Facebook in the near future. Jeff?
And that is Google Me. This week, it was reported that Google has announced that the rumors are true, and they are in development of a new social networking site called Google Me. And people are thinking, is this the next Facebook killer? Is this the next Twitter killer? And if it's anything like their past efforts in terms of wave or buzz, it probably won't be. But there aren't a whole lot of details other than it will probably be launched in November, and they're hoping that this will be their first successful entry into the social networking sphere. So, whether or not they're successful or not is still left up to debate. But is this going to make Facebook extinct? I don't think so. Do I think it's going to be a flop? Probably. So what do you guys think?
My first question is, they kind of already have a social network. What about Orkut?
Oh, that's great in Brazil.
I know.
So yeah.
Well, I think they're trying to expand it to be something much more, where you log in, you connect with people at a more deeper level, more like a Twitter or a Facebook, and there is no other reason for you to leave Google any longer, is what they're basically saying. Is we can connect you to people, you have search, you have everything you possibly need, and there's no other reason to use any other service. And I think they're overstretching themselves.
Well, but they could, they're. You could always go to YouTube. People will still be going to YouTube. That's not Google, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, well, they can check their email. They'll hop on their email. What's the best email right now out there?
I use my own.
Gmail?
No, I use my own.
So you've got those, you've got advertising, you've got search, you've got all that cornered, but then you look and Google seems to have like basically an Arlington cemetery full of failed web properties, acquisitions, attempts, startups, everything they've done in the past. Orkut being one of them. No offense to Brazil, no offense to Canada, Brazil, or Australia tonight. We're going to try to go all around the world and insult at least one country from every continent. No offense to Brazil, but Orkut is popular in one place only, and that being the country of Brazil, not the state of Canada. So Orkut is considered a failure. Buzz was supposed to be huge. It was supposed to be the Twitter killer, and then it died. That died. I mean, it's still there, but it's just definitely not a Twitter killer. And then you have Wave, that was supposed to be the revolution. It's pretty much the Segway of the internet. It's like, this is going to change everything, but except it doesn't at all, because nobody liked it. Combine all that stuff together, and that's the supposition that I've heard a few people talk about, a few different websites saying, let's take Google profiles, toss in a little Buzz, toss in a little mail, toss in a little video, toss in a little Picasa, toss in a little Wave, everything else, and now all of a sudden you have something that can compete directly with Facebook, because it can be everything that Facebook is, but more. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, Jeff, is it going to make it or not? You have to make this decision right now.
No,
well,
but
July 1st is it going to make it?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so, because I think it's putting too many of your eggs in one basket. I mean, when I do searches on Google, I sign out of my Google profile because I don't want them to know what I'm searching for. I don't want them knowing everything that I'm doing. And if you have a networking site with them, if you have everything with them, what happens if Google shuts down? What happens if Google is having problems for a week-long stretch? You're screwed, because if you put all your eggs in one basket. And I think Google is overstretching themselves in this respect.
Well, for two things, just to comment on what you said there, if I can remember what they were. You talked too long. No. Oh yes. Okay. So first off, that you can turn off your web history in Google. It is a setting there that you can do. And quite honestly, if you log out, do you think they really still can't track you there? That you still have the cookie. They still know exactly what you're doing there. So don't think that logging out is doing anything.
They can.
Yeah, well, don't fool yourself.
My ignorance is bliss.
JD is showing on the screen here right now a site actually I set up actually now over 5 years ago, GoogleWorldDomination.com. And I made a prediction, basically. If you scroll down a little, JD, it'll say the year I made the prediction on the blog post. Go over to scroll to the left. We need to see the date. Okay, yeah, so on December 16th, 2004, I made a prediction that within 10 years, Google would take over the world. Back then, it seemed ominous. Now, in 2010, with just a couple of years left in that, it's just gotten so much worse. I see it happening. Maybe not within the time frame I originally put there, but it's getting close. And if maybe not the entire world, if that was a little too far, they're definitely taking over the internet.
invading the internet, coast to coast.
News: Social Blade was acquired by Google.
If they can't shut us up,
No, but I
just
still,
buy us. Sorry.
yeah, but I still don't think people view Google in that way. I don't think people view Google in the way of social networking. I think people view it in more of helping their search, helping improve their web presence through analytics or SS and a bunch of different services they have. But in terms of social networking, I do not think people view it that way.
Here's the
Accept it.
Here's the only reason why I will disagree and say that I believe they will succeed. The one thing that Google has never in a trillion years since they were created, a trillion years ago, the one thing they have not done is actually gone all in. In other words, they have one thing they've gone all in on, okay? One thing, and that's advertising. They make $20 trillion or billion trillion. Woo, it's a lot of money. 3 fewer zeros. $20 billion in revenue a year off of AdSense. 20 trillion. They own Mars. They own they own Canada. No, $20 billion a year in revenue, and that's the thing they've said. They've gone all in. This is what we do. We want to dominate search, and they were able to succeed, even though nobody thought they could. Back in '95, if you would have said Google, the heck's that? They spelled it wrong. Even now it's like, okay, so they are the dominant one. They went all in. They came. Everything else they've kind of wimped around, kind of touched on it. Let's get into this. Let's do that. If they go all in on anything, okay, I think that there's no way they can lose. They have the money to back it. They have the technology to build it. They already have the base of many technologies that can be combined together to make a superior solution to Facebook. Facebook is
JD?
strong in yes.
They're going all in on this, I think.
I did. Did I go too far? Well, there is one other thing that came close to going all in on. And that's YouTube. YouTube, they kind of went all in. They went mostly all in on it. And now, as a result, Ergo has been able to quit his job. And he has a new revenue stream. Ergo, tell us about that.
That is absolutely untrue. But YouTube, there's a couple of quick YouTube things to note this week. This actually isn't by YouTube, but there is a new service called Friendly Music that was just launched from a company called Rumblefish. And what it allows you to do basically is, if you've ever uploaded a video to YouTube, you'll know that you're not allowed to use copyrighted music. Most people don't know that, or rather just don't care, or they put a message in there saying no copyright infringement intended or something like that. That doesn't mean anything. But especially kids, they think that'll actually do it. Just because they say they're not trying to infringe, they really still are. Anyway, there's a new service that just launched that for $1.99 you can actually buy a song and they give you rights to use it on YouTube. In the current form, at least out of the box, they don't allow you to use it commercially, which means partners who are the ones that actually try to look for these songs because they put ads on their videos, and that counts as it being commercial, even though I'd say the majority of partners don't make I'd say they don't make $1.99 per video. But either way, it's a great way to do it. And I actually contacted them myself, and they said that they are working on a way for partners to get a license also. And at least up until this point, until they get it finalized, you can email them at a special email address, which is justyn@rumblefish.com after you buy the song from there. And you can they'll upgrade your license to a commercial license for free for use on YouTube. And you'll be able to use it on there as well. But they should have an official announcement at sometime in the future here. But I was checking out the site at least a little bit here. And for me, I post a lot of videos, and it's great to have another source of music. I mean, you can browse through, and it's a pretty easy to use site. I haven't tried buying anything yet, but you just click on one of these and it'll start playing something, and you can buy it and whatnot. It's great, works well. What do you guys think?
Well, I still think you're making money off it. You wouldn't be spending your time on it if you weren't going to make money. Why did you quit your job?
I did not quit my job. I have a job still. It's called the Social Blade Show now. No, I do have a day job. I do daily
I think it's a
videos
good
on
idea.
YouTube, but it's just a hobby. Go ahead, Jeff.
I think it's a good idea because the current state of it, if you don't have it, you have a slim pickings of music to choose for your videos. I mean,
Yeah.
you basically go through. It's like no name, no name, no name, like Nickelback, and it's like, well, I'm not going to choose Nickelback.
Well-
I guess I'll choose some no name, and you don't have a huge selection.
Also, with what you're talking about
So
there,
I like
that,
the way they're going with it.
that's also music after the fact. If you even go, I believe if you try to even put a Nickelback song on your video, I don't even know if that would work. I think they could still call it as copyright. That's I can't remember the name of the program, but that's YouTube's thing to put audio on, replace the audio. Sorry, the name's slipping here. But there are legitimate sources. Like we've had on a previous episode of Social Blade, Kevin MacLeod from Incompetech.com. That's really the primary source of legal music that people use on YouTube, which he has a lot of great music, but it's great to have some variety. I'm doing daily videos, and if I use 365 songs of just him, which is cool, he gets a lot of credit, but I'd like to use some other variety as well to spice things up a little bit.
Well, 2 notes on that. First off, the video that I made, that I stole the content and then put a different spin on it. I did use Kevin MacLeod stuff, and it's had over 500,000 views. Second note is
Kevin,
that
thanks,
Nickelback is from Canada. Just FYI. So,
Yeah, I was going to say that.
so yeah, that's awesome. YouTube.
Yeah, just one other quick YouTube story just to cover. YouTube also this week announced that they're working on something sort of similar to Hulu here, where if you don't actually like the ad that's on your video, and I believe they were referring to the pre-roll ads that they have on only some videos, they're going to, also on some of the longer shows that you watch on there, they're going to be allowing you to stop that ad as it's playing and sort of pick what ad you want or give some feedback about it here to give a more tailored ad experience on there. So
Nice.
yeah, sort of
Well,
copying Hulu, but it's a good step forward.
Well, for those who don't buy it, this is further proof. I tried to change the subject. Ergo goes back, brings up YouTube again. He's very clearly and obviously working with them or for them, making his money that way. And I did have confirmation that he either quit his job or he's getting fired tomorrow. So he does need to figure out a way to make money. And YouTube's probably the way. Now, the way that the Social Blade show makes money is through a site called Hot Hardware. Hot Hardware is our wonderful, glorious, amazing sponsor. They've been our sponsor since, I believe, when did they come on? 1987. They came on and started sponsoring the Social Blade show, and since then they have pretty much made it possible for us to have these wonderful toys that we use, such as this Sterling audio mixer or microphone. It's not a mixer. The mixer's down below. That's why I have such poor sound, because I think the microphone is the mixer, and I speak into the mixer and think it's the microphone. But had I read the reviews on hothardware.com, I would have learned that that's not the case. The microphone is the part that you speak into, and the mixer is where you actually adjust the sound. These are things that you'll learn at hothardware.com. Anyway, so, Aaron, tell us that you're back, because we're ready to cuddle up with chemical production in the brain. And, yeah, we're ready. Talk to us, Aaron. Where are you? What are you doing?
Here.
Oh, she is here. I was making fun of her.
Yeah,
You were making fun of me? What?
I was making
Yeah,
fun of you. I was making fun of Nickelback, who's from Canada, and Orkut, which is from Brazil, and Mel Gibson is from Australia, and they're all in the news right now, and it's just funny stuff.
Oh, I can just imagine where this show has gone before my presence.
Let's just say you should.
Have we wished everybody a happy Canada Day?
Aaron, let's put it this way:
Yeah,
don't watch the beginning of this show.
We haven't mentioned Canada at all during this entire show, Aaron. That's the first mention. Tell us about Canada Day. We're all ears.
It's beautiful, it's fun, and a lot of Canadian flags flapping around today. It was beautiful. It's funny too, because at the side of our car windows, we have flags. You know how you can put it at the top of your windows, and you drive around with your little Canadian flags flapping around.
No, I do
Kinda
not
funny.
know how to do that.
Yeah, we'll take your word for it.
Is she
Oh,
still
you are
talking about
missing out.
Canada?
JD. No, I'm moving on to cuddling. Okay. Yeah, so cuddling, which is, I guess, known as oxytocin in the brain, but people call it the cuddle chemical production. And they did a study just on one person, so I don't know how efficient this is, but they did a study on a guy and took his blood work while he tweeted from TweetDeck, just to see, what his oxytocin levels were. And once he did tweet, it showed that it spiked to 13.2%, which is above normal, and it's an equivalency to a groom getting married. So groom on his wedding day is the same amount of a guy who is tweeting. So I find that kind of interesting. His stress hormones went down, and it showed just this feeling of happiness over him. And it quoted here, interpreted tweeting as if you were directly interacting with people you cared about or had empathy for. And what do you guys think about that? When you guys, and it wasn't just talking about just Twitter, it was the example, but social media as a whole, do you guys feel happier when you're utilizing social networks or utilizing social media in general?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because I'm fairly new to Twitter, about like a month into using it. No, and after I have like a great conversation with someone I normally wouldn't be able to connect with, yeah, I mean, I feel great. It's an awesome feeling, and you definitely feel a sort of yeah, I don't know how to say Twitter high, but you feel really good about it. I mean, I don't get that feeling when I connect on Facebook, but I get that feeling when I connect on Twitter.
Really?
Mm.
Maybe that's a guy thing. Maybe that's a guy thing, though, because, see, I don't know if this is correct, but, I was talking about this yesterday with you guys, just, what kind of character does it propose that we have, depending on what social networks we favor? And so I'm thinking, a lot of women would favor, perhaps, Facebook over tweeting, just because it has a more in-depth connection with people. It has to do with your families, your friends, people you actually choose to add as a friend, where, on Twitter it seems more like a manly thing, and please don't take this as sexism in any way, shape, or form, but, because it's fast-paced, you don't have to have a lot of connections, you only have to use 140 characters, which men would probably prefer, right? I mean, let's get real, right? I mean, if you want to pick up a girl, you're only going to use 140 characters anyways. So.
Oh, boy. I was
Really?
gonna.
Jason, really?
I don't think it touches me as deep as it does Pat, but
Well, you're not on video, so I mean,
I just want to say I was gonna back off on the Canada jokes, but it's on, girl. It's on.
I thought you promised me you were going to behave this week. I thought I was going to get a free ride.
well, then you didn't show up for the show.
I know you lost your free ticket. Your ticket was flushed with the Inuits. So yeah.
I'm here now, and I'm happy to be here. So my oxytocins in my brain must be on fire.
Fire!
Fire.
Can you tell me who the first Prime Minister of Canada was, Aaron?
Can I tell you who the first Prime Minister was?
Who was your first Prime Minister?
Ergo probably knows that. He's Googling it right now anyways, because I can see it in his eyes. I don't know.
Jeff, who was the first president of the United States?
Pierre Trudeau or...
Aaron probably even knows that.
George Washington.
There we go. So
There you go.
That's because he's on your dollar bill.
That's not why we remember it.
Every American knows it.
Come on, even well,
every
Kid-
Canadian
yeah.
probably knows that.
kids even before they know what money is. I can't speak tonight. I'm sorry. Before they
Money
know.
You talk good. You talk good.
Money
Anyway.
money get. Yeah,
Anyway.
he's been watching Mario Marathon.
It's Mario Marathon's fault for my bad grammar. Anyway, it's the kids before they even know what money is, know who the president was, the first president.
Well, the reality here too is the only time I ever learned about Canadian history was in elementary school, and it was for like one grade, and then a lot of it was European history. So, which is unfortunate. 'Cause I know, right? Because like, what the heck do I need to know European history for? We learned a little bit about American history, but not as much as European history. And
We didn't learn anything about
Canadian
Canadian
history.
But by the way, Aaron, just so you know, it's John A. McDonald.
Right.
You
Which
should know
There
that.
he is, Johnny McDonald.
several
Beautiful.
Canadians and Americans in the chat room
Yeah.
didn't know that or was able to Google it. So
Yeah,
so yeah,
we could give them credit, or I could just say I knew it, but
old McDonald had a Canada.
yeah,
AI.
Hey, hey. That's beautiful, Danny. Beautiful.
AI,
AIAIO.
You know, I am. This is just getting me juiced up.
uh,
This is just getting me so juiced up because we're about to embark on something that we've never done before. We're going to talk about something that is near and dear to some people's hearts.
Only some.
That something is the new Digg. And when I say we've never talked about it before, it's because we've never had the opportunity to go on screen and actually show what the new Digg looks like for those of you who didn't get an invite, which currently, from what I could tell, everyone has an invite.
Yeah. They
But,
actually just sent out a whole bunch of invites from what I saw on Twitter.
They just sent out a whole bunch of invites. So pretend like you didn't get one and watch us talk about it because that's good stuff there. Let me get the screen ready. And Jason loves it when I narrate my activities, so I'm going to continue to do so.
I'm already
here shortly.
showing it on my screen while you're getting yours ready. So
Yeah, show my screen while you're getting yours ready. Exactly. You're putting it on yours, right? AI.
Hey, oh.
AIAIO.
A. Oh, Canada. All right, the new Digg is up. If you have signed up for Digg, if you have a Digg account, you got an invite, you can go to new.digg.com and you can see the alpha version of the website. Are we up and live? I can't see the screen.
Go ahead. You're good.
All right, beautiful. So this is it. This is what it is. When you first get to the site, you will be asked. You will be taken through what's called an onboarding process. They call it an onboarding process because I don't know. It sounded cool. But basically, what it means is that they prep you. They give you the option to follow particular accounts, particular people, celebrities, famous websites, and such that are on Digg and popular. And some of them, we don't know how serious this is going to end up being, but at least in the beginning, it was a bunch of sites that had signed up and had become publisher accounts. But then there were some others, such as Leo Laporte, Tony Hawk, some quote-unquote celebrities that were also on the site that weren't necessarily publishers per se, at least in the traditional sense. But, at least they were here. After you go through that, then you have the opportunity to find your friends on Google, Twitter, and Facebook, which I have not found anyone who has been able to get the Twitter or the Facebook aspect of it to work. But they will search through your accounts, you attach your accounts to it, and they will search through and find people. And obviously, it's the good old, hey, invite your friends to join this site, blah, blah, blah. And you're more than welcome to do that, but I don't think many will because most Digg users are friends of other Digg users anyway. So who do we know other than people that are already on Digg, right?
I'll let you keep talking first. But, well, no, I'm gonna stop you right there. There's difference. All right. There's a big difference between the standard Digg user and then the ones that are in the submitting communities. The standard Digg user probably doesn't know anyone on Digg and knows only people on Facebook. So for that, it will be really helpful.
Yeah. Can I go?
Go
further?
ahead. Sorry, I just had to stop you
Can I
there.
continue?
Hey, stop me anytime. If anyone who's not Canadian can stop me at any point.
Excellent.
Oh, I thought I was going to be able to get, like, privileged
And-
treatment today or something.
And then you're like,
But by the way, there's
And I was-
random Canadian leaves floating across the screen.
But I'm here now, so that counts.
are they maple leaves
Yes.
or are they beaver leaves? Beaver
Or,
is the
Chrome.
beaver is
Chrome.
the animal of Canada. The Canadian.
According to Americans, yes.
Let's put it like this. It says Canadian Maple Leaf, and it's on a .ca site, so I think it's a good indication.
You don't get any more Canadian than that, eh? So yeah. So the big change. And I think most people are anyone who's really interested in Digg are aware of the changes. Anyone who's not interested in Digg will probably not continue to be interested in Digg even further. But right now, the big change is that when you go to Digg.com, the future Digg.com, or the quote-unquote homepage, that it's a personalized page. As you can see on the screen, this page consists of activities from my friends, the people that I am following. Notice that this one was dug by these 3 people for a total of 3 digs from my friends, as well as 9 digs from other people, and then comments. Now, I want to show you, let's go down further, and let's see if we can find nothing. It'll also bring out comments. If there's a comment by a friend of yours, then you will be able to see it there. The digging feature itself is kind of addicting, I have to admit. Instead of the weight, you actually get to watch the number move up. Watch, see that?
Does it like bounce?
It's like a counter. Like the 3 moves up and then the 4 comes down from the bottom. I mean, I'm kind of hooked on it. I want to dig more. I think that was intentional, but we'll see. Yeah. So that's that part of it. Another portion over on the right, you'll see the most popular news from people that you're following as well. You'll see over here, this one particular picture of Afghanistan has 109 digs. Burger joints, BS, stuff like that. Wow. A lot of my friends like curse words. I gotta get some new friends. Now, for those traditionalists who are used to the Digg front page being an actual top news source, they still have a tab for you. That tab is this page. This is more traditional, more similar to the way that the front page is currently, in that it has stories that have gone quote-unquote popular. Look at this one. See, here's the pull-out quotes that I was talking about. Starving for More, who happens to be in the audience right now, has made a quote right there, or made a comment. And let's dig that up. 300 digs, nice. Homer style, beautiful. Take it down further, and you see all this different stuff. See, there's that Australian guy, but we won't talk about him. Yeah, I'm going to stop right there just to give Ergo a chance to rebut anything that he disagrees that I've said so far.
This is going to be good.
No, I actually... You're going to hate me now. I kind of am starting to at least like it a little bit here as well now. But I just got the invite on my Ergo account here, which is my main account that I dig things that I like, that I don't submit anything from, and I don't dig things from Ergo or anything like that. So on here, it actually feels to me the latest news. I went through the process and I signed up for a bunch of news sources that I watch, and kind of my latest news feels like an RSS reader. That's really what the new Digg feels like to me. It'll have the stories in, I'm hoping, credential order. This is my biggest complaint, at least at the moment right here. It doesn't have any indication of time. I really hate that. I wish it would indicate how many minutes ago or seconds ago, that type of a thing, that things were, that they appeared on here. But other than that, it's an RSS reader. So, I mean, these are all the sites that I added in, and you see it's dug by CNET and whatnot. A lot of CNETs just got added in, I guess. Washington Post and whatnot.
Sure. Well, and these are cracked. I saw cracked.
No cracked.
Ergo.
Yeah.
Ergo, can you set it up to, like, when you publish a story, it automatically submit it to Digg, or do you actually have to submit it directly?
JD, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think that now what you can do is, if you go under your settings, there is feeds here where you can enter in, I'm guessing this is an RSS feed, and I guess it's one feed per account, that I'm guessing it's going to, Digg will automatically pull that feed every however many minutes, and if there's a new story that appears in there, just like a normal RSS reader, it'll automatically submit it to the site.
Yes, you can set up a feed. You have to have an authenticated feed. In other words, you have to be able to demonstrate that you own the site by placing particular code on a page, blah blah blah. But once you've authenticated, you could designate where the feed comes from. Now they're encouraging users website owners and whatnot to create feeds that are tuned into to what they really want. In other words, they're going to CNN, and CNN that publishes about 200, 300 stories a day. They're not saying, yeah, feed everything to us. They're telling them, pick out, create a feed that will. You can do one of two things. You can create an individual feed that's like your best news of the day that's either manually created or pulls from certain portions of the site, or go ahead and if you're a bigger site such as CNN or AOL or something like that, create multiple accounts to match each individual feed. So let's say you have like AOL Autos, for example, or AOL Travel or any of those things. They're each going to have their own individual account, very similar to Twitter, which is pretty much what this is trying to mimic or mirror. The new Digg is really heading in that Twitterish direction. Everything they do from the beginning all the way straight through, other than the news aspect of it, they're basically the news version of Twitter. Even the recommended, when you go through and you pick out people. Let me see if I can get to that page, by the way. But when you go through and you pick out people, you can actually. That's my profile notifications. No, hold on.
Let me show you one big thing, big
Import
difference
feeds.
about Twitter and Digg, though. You see this right here, less than 5 seconds ago? Yeah, it tells you when a tweet was tweeted. Digg, come on,
yes.
seriously, please. I guess I didn't submit a comment yet, but I will be definitely sending that to you guys officially.
Nice.
Because the way I always use Digg, I go through and I've always gone through every day. I go through the current Digg front page, which is, I guess, top news now. I go through and I read every single page on there. I have a Grease Monkey script called Auto Pagerize, which actually automatically loads the next page. So I just scroll down forever. So it's not working with this load more thing. Which, there's probably going to be a hack for that. But yeah, if it doesn't say the time, I really don't like that. So please, guys.
Well, okay,
Okay.
well, what
That's
does this
my
mean
only
for
big
someone
complaint
who's
now.
upstarting?
Go ahead.
Okay, what does this mean for someone like myself who's starting to get into Digg and starting to do it? I mean, is it easier for me to, start, getting into the Digg community and start being successful with Digg, or is it making it harder?
Define getting into Digg. Getting into Digg to
Okay,
get content
is
popular?
it easier for me to get, entwined with the community, submit my stories, or am I going to be facing an uphill sled because websites such as Engadget, CNET are submitting stories and I won't get as much exposure?
It, I guess, depends. If you can get in one of their popular lists, if they expand the categories and have all sorts of niche categories, I don't even know what do we have for categories here currently. But so right now, let's see.
No, the
entertainment.
categories
So it's just
you
the high
only get.
level.
It's only the primary categories.
So
right?
if they add, okay, there's a politics, right? So if there was an election or something, if there was politics and there was a category for every single candidate, and you had a blog about a specific candidate, for example, then you could be listed in there, and then people that want to see articles about that candidate would be extremely likely to follow you there, and you'll get a lot of exposure that way, I think. However, if you don't get into one of these lists, or if the Digg community doesn't really embrace these different categories, I think you'll get probably a lot less.
Okay, well, like what I'm saying is, if I submit a story about tech, okay,
Yeah,
and I'm
you're-
competing against,
yeah.
trying to get on the front page, and I'm competing against things like Engadget, TechCrunch, and CNET, it's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you're Kevin Durant, football player for the Oklahoma City Thunder, or Gary Vaynerchuk, who likes wine, or Jason Calacanis, founder of whatever that is, Mahalo, then yeah, you have an opportunity because these people who don't use Digg at all are now going to be very popular on Digg. Whether or not they take that popularity and do anything with it doesn't matter. It's not so much how into Digg you are, how into news, or how much of a true tastemaker you are. The only thing that matters with this new Digg, and this is my only complaint, is whether or not you're famous. If you're famous, if you're Tony Hawk, I ride skateboard for a living, then you have an opportunity to be here. Now, I'm hoping, please tell me this is just a tester. This is not actually how it's going to be. I'll tell you this much. if say a Mr. Babyman who's proven himself over and over again as being a true finder of quality content, if he's not recommended, but Tony Hawk, who's never been on the site before, is, or Leo Laporte, who's got, yes, oh great, he's got 1 million people that follow him, but he could care less. He's ripped on Digg on multiple occasions on the show. Trent Reznor, what are the chances? Is Trent Reznor going to be looking at stories and trying to find the highest quality stuff out there? No. Dr. Well, look at all these people. Oh, it makes me sick just looking at this stuff. Justine. Now, granted, I can accept that one. But all the rest of them, I'm out.
So do you think it's looking a little bit like Reddit? Like a lot of people were predicting? And before you answer that, I'm a little upset because I was hoping for a real debate here with Ergo. Last night he was guaranteeing that he really didn't like it. So what changed your mind between last night and today?
Well, when I got an invite to it here, and I got to play with it on this account.
So he hated it. Tim Ferriss, are you kidding me?
Now,
gosh.
JD, one of the things you were saying that I actually was thinking about earlier was that you were thinking that people that have been doing really well on Digg, because one of the things that you see is it has followers and following up here. So if you show your account, JD, scroll up to the top and show the top of yours, so we can see that. Let me make you a little bigger here. How do I make you bigger now? It's not doing the full screen anymore. All right, anyway, won't do full screen. But yeah, so it says you have 7,692 followers. So I don't think. Okay, there we go. Now, what that means is whenever you dig something, under the My News section, it's going to be showing up right here, the My Latest News. It'll show up there. Everything you dig will show up to everyone that looks there, all of those people. Right. And you were telling me earlier that you thought that meant you had a whole lot of influence there, which I was thinking about it a little here, and I think definitely not at 100%, but I think most of the current power submitters on Digg, the people that are following them are other people also that just try to be power submitters as well. And now with this new switch over here, okay, yeah, you might get the other people that are trying to do the same thing following you, but it's just not going to matter at all. You're going to have all of the people that are on the main Digg community that actually just want to read news there, and then they won't see that interaction. So there'll be this whole big sub community that's really active amongst itself, but aren't going to be clicking on things there. And then the main community, it's just going to be disjoint communities. At least that's my initial thought here. It could be completely wrong, but that's what I was thinking.
I know, and it's definitely a possibility. There's two things here. If assuming that the people who are quote unquote active, the other people who are on the site every day, digging a lot, submitting a lot, blah blah blah, if they're able to maintain at least a certain level of power, by power, I hate using that term, but if they're able to have the influence on the site that's sustainable, and it's just them and the publishers, I would say that it's a perfect mix. In other words, now you've got the quality of the publishers mixing in with the quality of the tastemakers, or however you want to call them, and this should, for the most part, create a Digg that is good. Where, in other words, the people that are good at finding the quality content on Imgur or YouTube or any of these sites, just by going to Reddit.com. But those people that are able to find that quality content and get it surfaced on Digg, that they'll still be able to do so. If Digg is really going to stick with this idea that's based on the alpha, it looks like this might be the case, and they're going to basically eliminate anyone who's currently on Digg, not eliminate, but at least try to basically make them impotent through the use of power users. Websites, I'm cool with, I agree with, but if you take celebrities and try to go this way with celebrities can do Twitter, okay? They get Twitter. It doesn't take just as Canada mentioned earlier, it doesn't take a whole lot of thought to come up with 140 characters to think about anything you want. Dig, I'm
Wow.
sorry, Snoop Dogg and Shaquille O'Neal are not going to do a ton on Twitter. Mel Gibson is not going to, or no, I'm sorry, on Dig. Mel Gibson is not going to come on here and do stuff. Okay, Leo Laporte is going to check out. He's going to like it, and he's going to move on to the next thing because that's what he does. I mean, the guy tried out Farmville for a while, and he liked it, and he moved on because he doesn't like to get into stuff like that. I Justine, all these people. Okay, so I Justine gets a pass, but other than her, um, you know, there's it's if you're gonna just take people who've dedicated literally hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of their lives
Lives.
to Digg.com and say, but you're not famous. You're not a 7'2" basketball player. So we're taking your power away, and we're going to promote the people. We're going to make it look like Kevin Durant from Oklahoma City Thunders is using Digg on a regular basis. So we're going to have him make an account, and we're gonna recommend him. It's about as worthful as worthwhile as Oprah's Twitter account. Okay, they're not going to.
I
use the
agree
site.
with you.
Sorry, Kevin. They're not going. I'm talking to you, Kevin Rose. Kevin Durant will not use the site next month or a month after the site goes live. Okay. What's his name? Our buddy, skater. I just talked to him. Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk will never put two G's in the word dig when he's talking to other people or writing it down. Okay. These people are not going to embrace dig the way that some of them embrace Twitter. It's just not going to happen. You turn your back on the people that are active on it. I'm not talking about power users. I'm talking about anybody. I'm talking about anybody who's active on the site. If you're going to force feed, if Tony Hawk is going to have more power to put some crap that he found onto a bunch of people's feed than somebody who's been vetted and who's demonstrated the ability to find quality content, then I'm out. I'm done. I'm leaving Dig. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, what about like if Kevin Durant submitted a story about, from ESPN about, the series they had with the Lakers? I think that's what, if you have celebrities doing it, that's what they're going to do. They're going to promote themselves.
Right.
Well, you just basically reiterated what Starving for More was saying. Dig seems to have the celebrities rather than their user base in mind. And I think a lot of social networks are making that mistake. I mean, Facebook, for example, when you look at their pages, their top pages are of celebrities. Michael Jackson, and, may he rest in peace, but seriously, he's dead. And his page is one of the highest top pages on Facebook. And my issue with that is when you go to the celebrity route, you're not really showing what can truly be utilized within the social networks with normal, regular user base people. So I think that's Facebook. To me, that's Facebook's issue. And I think that'll be another issue with Dig, the new Dig.
But Facebook didn't promote those sites.
Hold
the
on.
people aren't. Hold on, real quick. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm getting passionate.
No, what I was going to say is, I think they're going the route of, if we allow celebrities to do this and we allow celebrities and invite celebrities to participate, they're going to bring their following along to Dig, like Twitter did. I mean, I bet there's so many people who are just on Twitter to see what their celebrities are up to. So what I think Dig's thinking is, if we allow celebrities to participate and we allow celebrities to submit stories, their following will come to Dig just to see what stories they're submitting onto it. And you kind of are building a shell of a community in that sense.
Yep.
Now, to get off topic just a little bit here, two other things that I wanted to really mention that I think that they really failed at least in my initial lookings here, that I was really, really hoping that they would answer in this new version of Dig, are dupes and also some sort of real recommendation engine, if you will. For duplicate stories, since I'm now using it again as like an RSS, since I'm following all these sites, if Reuters and CBS News, for example, since they're the two right here, both write a story about the same thing and they both get published through their RSS here, theoretically I should see both the stories there. I would really have liked if they came up with a solution to stop that. Maybe they do, because I don't know the full RSS policy there, but it seems out of the box that they're missing that there. Also, with the rec engine, what I mean by that is everyone knows about the recommendation engine as it stands right now, but what I'm meaning is some sort of real intelligent system that would learn based off of the type of stories that you're actually digging. Because every time you click a dig button, you're giving input into the system saying you like something. And there's a little X over here also, I see. Every time you click that, you're telling it you don't like something. So it should be smart enough to tune itself and figure out what things you're liking and not liking about that, giving input into it, and sort of customize based off of that. Right now, it seems to at least only be doing it based off of people. But okay, yeah, sure, I like CBS News, but I probably only like about 5 stories out of 100 that they might do. So, it needs some sort of content filter that way, and it seems like they really missed the ball on those things there, and that's really what I was not liking about the new Digg.
So does this sound like, because I want everybody to understand that prior to last night, the idea was Jason didn't like the new Digg, and I did. And if I'm not mistaken, this has kind of turned into where I'm all hateful about it. And Jason's like, you know what, it's not that bad. There's some flaws, but I can deal with it. I'm all pissed off because, you know what, I'll be damned if I'm going to put so much time and effort into a site just to have that site come back at me and say, well, yeah, we understand, but this 22-year-old athlete is more important to us than you are. So thank you, but no thank you. We're going to promote this person instead of you, or even any other person. I don't care about the celebrity versus power user. Anyone other than people that aren't truly users. If they're active on Digg, okay, if Will Wheaton came on and said, hey, I like this new Digg, and he created an account and started submitting, great. I can promote that. I could say, you know what, that's a good move because he's going to actively promote Digg. So it has nothing to do with whether or not they're celebrity or not.
Random interruption. He was actually on Mario Marathon. He called in.
He was actually on Mario Marathon.
Yes.
Will Wheaton, Mr. Wesley Crusher, we salute you. And if you were on Digg and were active on it, I would probably follow you because you're an interesting character, even though you did miss the Reddit meetup in L.A. that Andy was at. So, but we won't go there. Where we will go is that, again, it has nothing to do with that aspect of it. It's the fact that you're going to be, it's kind of like, hey, you know what? I'm a good friend of Alyssa Milano. It's like, really? You are? Yeah, I follow her on Digg. It's like, give me a break. Don't name drop. And that's what that's what it is. I think it feels like Digg's trying to name drop. They're going the way that Twitter went, and it was relatively successful for Twitter because Twitter was a novelty. If another site comes on and does the same exact thing that Twitter did, the celebrities aren't going to flock to it, and they're not going to flock to Digg, no matter how much you try to cater to them. Now watch, the funny part is when the Digg actually gets out of alpha, watch all the celebrities disappear, and it's actually real users and then real publications, which I'd be perfectly okay with. I'd be fine with that. If they start promoting Ashton Kutcher, who, when I looked at his account, he had submitted 7 stories, 7 of his Twit videos in 2009. You're going to recommend that stuff? No, don't. I will so not be happy with it. You will be one notch above Canada in my list.
Got my attention again. Somebody said Canada.
Yes, no, we love Canada. Canada is there's almost as many people in Canada as there are in LA and Orange County, California. So
we had a poll rolling in the room here for a while here now.
Oh.
Just thoughts on the new Digg. I just wanted to bring this to the attention. And it looks like no one said that they loved it. About a third of the people said that they hate it. 50% say it's too soon to tell, and 16.67% say they don't care. So in short, it looks like most people aren't certain at the moment. Go ahead, Jeff.
Just
So,
gonna-
So JD, since JD, you're in the business of making predictions, what do you predict will happen with the new Dig?
I
Once
think
it
it'll be
launches
fine.
and once some time has been spent, you think it'll be fine?
I think overall, I'm very happy with the way that the new Dig is working out. Take away the celebrity aspect of it. You know, the we're going to promote people because they're cool, not because they will ever use the site, but because we want to protect. We want to make other people believe that they're using the site. That's childish. That's stupid. That's like one of the worst things I've ever heard of in my entire life. So, yeah.
Just gonna say here that Subatomic Doc says, I would love to see Kevin Rose take a principled stand again. Profitability isn't the sole value. Jimmy Wales put community and collaboration first. Why not the same for Dig?
Because they have the VC money. This is a VC move. Alexis said it. Muhammad said it. I'm saying it. They're going the way of Twitter because A, Kevin Rose loved Twitter from the start, and B, the VCs are saying do something to make money because we're pissed off, mad. A.
Joshua Denny says maybe the celebs thing is a link bait. Do we think it's a link bait?
Maybe the what thing?
Link bait?
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
What's
celeb
the link
thing,
bait?
The celeb thing.
The celeb thing.
Celeb postings.
Okay, if it is, I'll be even more disappointed. But we'll see. I want to see. I just want to see. That's all.
Yeah, people will be paying. As CP Dylan saying, it's obviously about money. I'm not sure if he's referring to the celebrity thing, but I think that part there is.
Well, I think it even goes beyond that to like production companies promoting their own movies and so on and so forth, and just getting people to go on and dig it, and you just ruin it that way. I think with the celebrity thing is just a slippery slope because I think it leads into something larger of just self-promotion.
I think we're steering away from the importance of social networking. Utilizing celebrities. That's so TV and radio and stuff. I think social networking is for the common folk to be able to engage and connect with people, and it's unfortunate that they think, people, that are in charge of these social networks are thinking that the celebrities is what's going to make them bigger or make more money for them.
Well, I agree. I would like to say that this did supersede our pre-mentioned Skype debate that we talked about last week. I'm sorry, this just seemed a little bit more timely, so we went there. But we are going to continue the Skype social media debate, which is definitely going to be more debateful, more never mind. I can make a joke, but I'm not going to. So yeah. As much as I want to continue, I think we just need to stop because I've got to contemplate this. I don't know what's going to happen to Dig or to me, but I'll find out tomorrow. So tomorrow's the big day. We'll find out lots of stuff.
Wait,
guys,
hold on. What's tomorrow?
No, tomorrow's a big day.
Why is tomorrow a big day?
I can't tell you.
Oh.
Yeah, tomorrow's a big day though. Big day. We're gonna learn a lot
Don't you
tomorrow.
hate that when people say that? Tomorrow's a big
Yeah,
day.
it's like
Why?
awful, isn't it? It's
Can't
the
tell
worst
you.
thing. It's like. Let me put it this way: tomorrow's bigger than Canada Day. So
No, I was just gonna say. Oh, you ruined it. I was gonna say it can't be bigger than Canada Day.
I ruined it.
Oh.
Darn it! I ruined Canada Day. Today is the day that I ruined Canada.
Interesting.
Oh wow. I'm gonna take me off the air. I'm seriously getting a little bit no, I'm just kidding. I was gonna say I was gonna pretend to be getting emotional, but I'm really not. Ergo, take us away, brother.
Yeah. So I thought you were doing this, but I can do it.
Oh no, I can do it. You can do it. I can do it. Aaron, why don't you do it? Do it, Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron, wrap up the
Want me
show.
to do it up.
You've never wrapped up
Do it
the
up.
show before.
Canadian rap.
Canadian. It's Canadian. No. Okay.
Here, I put your
Let's say wrap up.
your I can't make it that small.
Oh darn it! I'll wrap up. Hey, I
No,
want to.
I'm wrapping up. I got it. I'm good. Okay,
All right,
so
sure.
we want to thank you guys, you awesome people that tune in every single week here on Social Blade. We want to thank our sponsor, Hot Hardware. We want to talk to you guys on our various social networks. Twitter, that's twitter.com/socialblade, facebook.com/socialblade, youtube.com/socialblade. Join us there. You can talk to us throughout the week, check out our videos, interact with us. We enjoy getting to know you. You can suggest a guest for us. We'd love to have a guest on that you specifically want. Make sure that they follow the guidelines that we have for you, but it's at the top of our blog at socialblade.com/show, where you can also check out our past guests as well and read various social media stories that we have created Social Blade style. You can get SMS alerts for Social Blade every single week, just in case you forget, because we live busy lives. So to know when we go live, that's j.mp/subus, j.mp/subus. You can also choose from the various other shows like Ask Outcast, which airs every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Band on the Web, which is right afterwards, Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Great back-to-back shows. You can also watch the Drill Down on Wednesday nights. Get up to date with your tech news and your entertainment news as well at 9:30 Eastern. Join us next week here on Social Blade at 7 p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. And remember, together we are Social Blade.
Social Blade.
Social Blade.
Social Blade.